Hey gang, how are you doing? Jonathan here for Tailhunter Sportfishing, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report, coming to you from La Paz, Baja, Mexico, and covering all of the fishing action for our Tailhunter Sportfishing fleet for the dates of the 5th of July through the 12th of July, 2023. Wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for checking in. Thanks for spending time with us, and please do us a big favor. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, a lot to tell you about, but once again, as it's been in the last couple of weeks, hold on, don't delete anything, don't check out or anything, because we've got a great fishing gallery, and that really tells you the story and what's going on down here. Still a lot of Dorado biting, or at least they were, and I'll put a caveat to that. We've got probably the best Dorado bite that I've seen in maybe the 30 years I've been here. There have been all kinds of Dorado. There's some schools where you'll run into a school of fish of maybe 5 to 12 or 15 pound fish, and you're done in an hour and a half. Guys are going, wow, we had every rod going off. We filled the box, and then boom, they're gone. And we've got a limit, and then catch and release after that, or we're chasing other species. So you can fill up really, really quickly on some of these Dorado. But then again, there's some huge beastie style bull Dorado out there, and I'm talking 30 to 50 pound fish. In fact, we just had a tournament that I'll talk to you about in just a little bit, the winning fish over 50 pounds, but there's some 30s and 40s running around out there. And, you know, a lot of them are big because they are tough and they are strong, and we're hooking them, and guys are fighting them for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, and then they're breaking off. But once again, take a look at the pictures, take a look at the fishing gallery. You're going to see a lot of big Dorado. The other part that I want to tell you about is everyone's still asking, are the rooster fish still here? And, you know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have told you, I think the rooster fish have moved off. The bigger baits are not necessarily around. Those big sabalo, those big ladyfish that we use for baits for catching the big fish, there aren't as many around on the beaches as there had been. There are still some smaller rooster fish, that 5 and 10 pound size, still around. You can still have fun in that because they will eat the little sardines. But the bigger ones, just hadn't seen a lot of big ones lately. But the issue with that, I think, is that the Dorado bite has just been so good that, you know, we catch a lot of rooster fish at a time when maybe there aren't a lot of other species biting. But right now, the Dorado bite has been good. There are other species biting. Folks want to take home fish. They want to cook some fish. They want to put some in the ice chest and bring some home. So, you know, the old saying, why leave fish to find fish? They've been so prevalent, so much Dorado, that nobody's really chasing the big rooster fish. And that requires, if you're going to go after the bigger rooster fish, you want to catch those big baits. You've got to kind of commit some time to catching the bigger baits and then slow trolling those in the areas where the rooster fish are. A lot of folks are going, nah, that's too much work. I'm going to go have some fun, catch some Dorado, pull on some bonita, catch some Jack Crevalle, maybe some Trevally, some Pargos, some Cabria, some of the other fish that are around in the rocks, rather than commit the time to chasing the big rooster fish. That being said, we've also got folks that are down here long enough that are going, hey, I fished for 3-4 days. I've got all the Dorado I need. I've caught all the other species. I'm going to take the time and commit to catching a big rooster fish. And in those cases, wow, take a look at the photos that are coming up, because there's still some big rooster fish around. We're talking some fish in the 70, 80, 90 pound class. So they're still here. I don't know how much longer they're going to stick around, but as far as the last week or so has been concerned, there are some big rooster fish around. Now, I said the Dorado are still biting. Well, here's what happened. This last weekend, we had a huge tournament here in La Paz. Over 160 entries, and they came from all over the state. This is the biggest tournament that La Paz has ever had. Mostly all pongas, mostly all smaller boats, but they came from Cabo, La Paz, Loreto. I understand there were boats that came from mainland Mexico, Canada, as well as the United States to fish in this tournament. They had something, I think I heard something like 1,700,000 pesos, and I also heard by the time the jackpots were done, there were over 3 million pesos in the pot. So not only the biggest, but also the richest tournament. And what happened was, it happened to be the day that we had a huge storm blow in from the south.
I'll tell you what, it sure feels like a hurricane.
The storm didn't hit us, But we did get a little bit of rain, and we got huge amounts of wind, 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts of wind blowing up from the south. We also had huge waves. One of the guys who participated in the tournament told me the waves were as big as houses. He said it was a perfect storm. He said that in Spanish, una tormenta perfecto. And those are big waves, and I saw some of the videos as well. I mean, these were big rollers that came in, white caps. I mean, some of the guys said they couldn't even stand up on the boats while they were fishing. A couple boats even ran into some problems. One boat went down. They were able to rescue the folks, and another boat was found out there with nobody on it. But I think they did find the folks eventually. They got off on another boat, but it wasn't the best in terms of fishing out there. There were some big fish caught, some 30 to 50 pounds. In fact, the winning fish that won, I believe, 400,000 pesos. That's a lot of money down here. 400,000 pesos was 51 or 52 pounds. A big Dorado. So the big Dorado are out there. Now, at the time of recording this for you, things have come down. Every day it's gotten a little bit better, a little bit better. It has not yet returned to the conditions that we had prior to that one-day storm that blew up. But we're still catching Dorado. There are patches of blue forming up. We're back into the Dorado, but with every given day, I think it's going to get a little better and a little better the further we move away from the storm that hit us and blew through on Sunday. So as of right now, we're still catching Dorado, still looking for those spots. I think the Dorado, having 150, 160 boats crisscrossing each other and dragging lures and everything, I think the Dorado are just a little bit line shy right now. But I think they're going to come back, let everything calm down, let the waters come back to blue, and I think we're going to be right back into the great Dorado bite that we had before. Again, there's still roosterfish here, there's still Dorado, there's still a lot of other species like Pargo, Cabria, Snapper, even got some rainbow runners, which are cold water fish. Still catching a few of those. Got some amberjack as well, once again, a colder water fish. So I think down below, there's still some cooler water hanging out. But overall, still good fishing. It's hot. It's humid. If you're coming down, stay hydrated. I mean, beers and margaritas are fine and they're good, but please stay hydrated. We've had a couple people not feel so good, thinking they got some food poisoning or something, when in fact it was just not staying hydrated. And there have been some cases of heat stroke noticed here in town and some of the hospitals and stuff, because locals are not drinking as much water either. So stay hydrated, dress appropriately, cover up, wear a big hat, put on the sunscreen, wear long sleeve shirts, and don't forget to stay out of the sun if you possibly can. Anyway, I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. Stay tuned. Got a great fishing gallery for you. You take care. God bless. And please, once again, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. We'll catch you next week.